My brother's keeper, I'm loyal, it's all in my demeanor. A true believer, I believe when they didn't believe her. That's why I don't let opinions affect me. I do what I want to do. If they do or they don't accept me, they expect me to give up. I almost did. Things went from moving faster, slow motion. I was losing focus, stuck on that. It was smooth on the surface, but underneath it was broken. Hoping to find hope in this hopeless world we live in. What you give is what you given. Gotta make wise decisions. Gotta stay tunnel vision. Gotta avoid collision. Keep scratching the surface and keep your palms itching. Gotta pay moms a visit. It's been a while. I've been working, she keep telling me she miss her child. I find myself passing the house, then I spin around. She say I'm always moving, I just can't sit around. Oh my, cause the cash ain't gonna come to us. When we was down, who gave a dime or gave a for us? So instead of making it hard, I made it fun for us.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Matt.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. And incomplete to open things up. The veteran safety, George Iloka, there to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
Always think back to what my defensive coordinator in college used to tell me. Playing against the run is 11 individual battles, man on man. And are you going to win that battle? You're going to whip the guy across from you and get to the ball carrier, wrap him up, and put him on the ground. Because the one thing he absolutely detested was yards after contact. Tackle him, put him down on the spot.
Now it's Trubisky. He'll have a first down past the 40. Caught out left side by Robinson. A Chicago first down. The former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 21 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
This is Howard on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On third down, Trubisky. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
And hoping to get rid of that interception bug. On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Cook. And an alley to run. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Danny Trevathan with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And Rudolph has it left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Those are the numbers from Rudolph from last week's game. 8 catches, 52 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Murray. Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL. Being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. Cousins on the keeper. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins taking it in. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
It's a big-time run by Jordan Howard. 64 yards on the ground. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. a free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
First touch of the game here for Billy Cunningham. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. And that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Cousins now from the 50. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Cousins now to throw on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
first
naught
down.
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danny Trevathan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The quick slant caught. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Cousins to throw it. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And not a whole lot doing. 8-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. So we've come upon halftime here in week 7. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair. And he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They pitch it out to Cook. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
It'll be a good enough to earn him yet another first down.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
They go play action here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Listen to me.
Back to the ground, Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long, and that is incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Sherrills to return it. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. The lead is theirs here in the 3rd quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and it's 3rd and 4.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They go counter with Howard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he got great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense: find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Mitchell Trubisky, 14 yards. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Extra point try by Bailey. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead now up to 14. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking. Bailey now to to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Burton. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
First target, first catch, and a first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll make it 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll take it down shy of 45 at the 46. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 4th down, it's Howard. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I like the reasoning. It's too far for a field goal, and it's too short to really get a big field position edge on a punt. Let's go for it. And sure enough, it's the ground game that's able to convert for them on 4th down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to
a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pull.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Anthony Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Man, if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball. I said, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Again, it's Cook. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Handoff comes to Cook. Oh, no, he lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here we go. Hey, flipper, flipper. I got you.
A give. This is Cook. Oh, little 360. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, flipper, flipper.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. They run. Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now it's Trubisky. And this will be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has been a lot extra.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sheldon Richardson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. He's going to let it and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Trubisky to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's just more heartache as they drop their 12th game of the season. And it will be a
on the front page. I threw prescription in Dior frames. I had the vision back in 12th grade that I'd be killing I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my jiggy, check out my now I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh, don't make me have to love it. Hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. That's a nice getter. International, rockin' Japanese dinner. Gas to get you a rough bitch. I'm in the low, I had to from my enemies. They bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, would have had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name. We ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my jiggy, check out my, now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. I've been swimming through the process and you can't see me on the likeness. You can proceed with precaution, give the proceeds to my God kids. Hold on my conscience, same my pop is. Lame when the pop get drop kick, buy drop kick. Why you gotta lie to me so much, babe? You tell me the same that you told what's his name. If it don't work out, I go back to hustling. Couple $100,000 up in my mother's name. Peace, what peace? Talk about don't shoot, tell that to police. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I'ma get them comments before I decease. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my jiggy, check out my, now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no.
Hey, Pete, let it ride out. Look, I defeated my fears, soaked a towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give them my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line abusing this deer. I hate to do it with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, I ask her man, cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us with the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your Mrs. Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a padded walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days.